Hey everyone, thank you for joining. And we're gonna tackle one specific marketing use case, which is a very popular one, which is content creation and content production. And that's why I'm very happy to welcome Jovan, who is the co-founder of n8n Labs. And based on the name of his agency, you can know he knows a thing or two about n8n. Thanks for joining, man.
Hey, what is up, everyone? Glad to be here. Thanks, you, Tarek, and the complete team for inviting me to this one. I'm Jovan, co-founder of the n8n Lab. We are the n8n specialized agency, and just a bit of our approach. We try to approach to our clients not just as a workflow builders. We try to advise them and to actually support them with the right automation strategy. So in this webinar, I will just go ahead and try to give you some valuable, very actionable stuff. So that means I will showcase you two workflows. One is like for maybe smaller teams, smaller scale, and second one is larger n8n automation that supports a larger content creation teams. Awesome. Let's get started, guys. So what we will cover today is human to AI adoption trends. So that means from manual adoption to an agentic workforce. I will talk a little bit about the RAG, MCP, how actually what does it mean, how to use this in order to create a better content. Second thing is how to structure your content operations before you start building anything. I think this one is very important because it is not just about the AI automation itself or how you automate and how you build the agentic system. It is more about what comes from you, for what you are building, how you are building, and what you want to achieve, and also who you are. That means if you are maybe on some smaller scale, definitely you don't need any a big complex RAG systems or MCPs. You can start with a proof of concept testing, something smaller, and then scale. The fourth thing is building agentic content systems, which is the main topic of this. So what you will learn is how to build the scalable n8n content infrastructure, how to build the roadmap. This is very important. That means if you have I don't know, more than 5-10 automations that you are considering, or maybe more, 50, depends again on the size of your business, size of your team, size of your company, how to build that roadmap in order to address what is the high value automation, what is the low hanging fruits, and where do you start from. How to design content system and build anything workflows according to your process, team size. This is actually what I covered. Best tool stack for building agentic content system. So I will showcase you the tool stack that we use, that we tested out, in terms of the data ins, data outputs. It will not be something collected from the internet on other people. So I will showcase you actually tool stack that we use for us and for our clients. And pretty much, this will be just a little bit about how LLMs rank, how the LLMs recommend LLM produced content, and so on, and cost benchmarking. I think this is useful. That means comparing the API tokens, tools, etc., in order how much costs you to have some a content production workflow running. So pretty much that's it. So about the use cases, we categorize this one use case is for maybe a smaller teams. Actually, workflow that you see right now, we run in n8n Lab. This is our content production system, so it is live on our website. So this is an end-to-end blog production system with the 5 agents. We have 3 AI writing agents. We have 1 SEO agent and 1 agent that manage or generate the image for a blog. And this one is especially important. As you can see here, this is very complex workflow automation that consists of the couple of components. This is the system components, which is the SERP scraper, competitor content scraper, and G2 and Capterra review scraper, SEO analysis like a phrase, Ahrefs, SEMrush, and so on. Then we use 3 RAG systems or 3 knowledge bases. One knowledge base is the pain point RAG. That means actually this is the listener of the gong calls, FATCOM calls, and try to address the leads, clients' pain point. Second one is the product knowledge rag, which actually scrape and read the data from this product knowledge, and G2 and Capterra reviews rag. And we have for the AI agents, we have the SERP analysis agent, we have outline generator agent, which is the like a agent, AI agent that generate the text outline, and we have meta generator, and we have, of course, at the end, article writing agent. So pretty much, this is like we will dive deep into the both of these, like a simpler and this more complex one later in the session. But before that, I just want to showcase, maybe a lot of you guys know already those things or not, but I will show you because I think it's important for the overall context. So this one is something that I'm, usually start with. So how this landscape looks like today. So we are currently at the stage of the AI adoption. That means we know how to use on the, let's say, basic level, on like some ground basic or more advanced level, how to chat with an AI. That means we know the best possible frameworks, how to get something into the cloud, Gemini, ChatGPT, or any other software that has the AI capabilities and puts this out, okay? But currently, still, many of the people, even myself, we are doing a lot of a copy and paste, a lot of copy context, paste content, a lot of copy stuff from something, grab this stuff from the Claude or generative engine and paste it somewhere else, like on the LinkedIn post and so on. That means we are currently which is normal, how the market shifts and how the market progress. We are AI adopted, great AI adopted in these last more than 2 years, in the last 3 years. Right now, the next stage is for companies, people be AI automated. Oh, something happens. Okay, to be AI automated, that means from this adoption stage, we are slightly right now moving into the AI automation stage. But what is the next? This is like the agentic workflows. That means almost autonomous teams, systems that runs almost autonomously. Of course, never will replace us humans. But this is how I don't see, or maybe there is something out of this third, but I don't want to think about this. I think this one is particularly great for everyone, for humanity, for everything. But what I want to say is that I think when you look at this automation landscape, I think either if you are on the beginning level, the better you adopt yourself right now to the AI systems, the better you will went through all these stages. That means don't rush either. If some of you are at let's say beginning, you are still here, I'm constantly copying and pasting something, I'm not automating. This is totally fine. This is totally perfect. Don't just take personally what you see on the internet, on the LinkedIn, people are sharing on the YouTube, people are sharing this stuff, I run my autonomous AI agents that replace my sales team, I'm not working anymore, etc., etc. This is not true, because all of us today with an AI adoption and AI automation, the speed of everything is going too fast. That means we are work a lot more that we used to work just from the last year or 2 years ago. So my take from this will be try to adopt yourself as much as you can, as better as you can, to an AI. That means maybe you can use a different models ChatGPT for something, Claude for something else, and Gemini for something third, I don't know, image generation, Perplexity for research, and try somehow to combine all of this together. This will give you the good path on how to go into the AI automation. This is what I did, but the thing with me is that I have a great team behind me that actually doing this stuff of AI automation and agentic workflows. But still, I'm somewhere here. I personally, me as a person, I'm there, and I'm slightly moving into this transition. But as I said, I have a great team that helped me present all of these these two AI automated and agentic workflows stuff. So pretty much that's it for me. For what is important for this thing is just to introduce you with a couple of things that maybe you are not currently aware of, or if you are aware of. The one is the MCP. as said before, the MCP connecting AI model to your tools require like a custom code for the single integration. What does it mean? That means currently in your ChatGPT or in your Claude account, you have something called connectors. Okay, what does it mean? You can go ahead, especially if you're using Claude, you can go ahead and connect like your email, your calendar, other connectors that Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini support. I'm on Claude pretty much, so this is the reason why I'm speaking mostly about like in Claude context. That means with MCP, that means you can connect your Drive, Slack, whatever, like there are connectors available. And this is the basic level of the MCP connection. That means you can, right now, you don't need necessarily to copy and paste something from some document, etc., etc. When you connect with your Google Drive or email, you can ask the question about the email, etc., in the chat. So this is like if you didn't introduce or you don't know at the moment, just go and inform yourself more on the MCP. This is the one thing. The second thing is the RAG. This is the retrieval augmented generation, which means like this is very important because standard AI models knows a lot about what is happening outside, but don't know what is inside your business. So that means with the RAG systems, you can put all of your internal data, okay, into the one place, like a docs, meeting notes, product knowledge base, internal documentation, etc., into the some database. And that means when you build this your, let's call it RAG, like some of your internal database, that doesn't require always context and reprompting in order to refresh a memory. Okay, that means the RAG is very important because LLMs are RAG. Let's say if I put in this direction, that means you don't need always to reprompt, recontext what you want to achieve. This is actually your vectorized database about your internal stuff. So just wanted to introduce you with these concepts at the beginning, how you can better grasp what will go next. So what is right now happening? Like, as you can see, not all of the automations have the same level of complexity and scale. This is very important. So what does it mean? That means it is not the same if you are running the n8n workflow automation with, I don't know, 2 third-party tools and 2 AI agents compared with an n8n automation that has 3 RAG systems, 10 of external tools connected, and I don't know, 10 different AI agents for a different purpose. That means you need to categorize your workflows or complexity. How we do this in an n8n lab, we have something called the tier 1. This is like, we call it like a workflow automation. What does it mean? This is like the capacity of like very straightforward linear, let's say, automation with like a limited branching complexity, not that huge amount of the external tools, accounts, etc. As you can see, this is like estimated time of delivery for us is 5 to 10 days. The second thing is tier 2. That means we call this like AI automation. That means this is something more complex, like the multi-system automations with a conditional logic, a lot of tool integrations, a lot of accounts, data processing, a lot of different AI that require different prompts, user messages, and system messages. If you already attended webinar yesterday, you know what is the user, what is the system message. And as I said, the tier 2 workflows or AI automation requires all of that. And of course, there is some bigger tiers. This is the AI agentic systems. That means something very, very complex. So what we will focus on today's discussions. So you will see like one tier 2 automation, and you will see one tier 3 automation. I will not showcase you this like a simpler version. So we'll focus on like these two. So what is also very important, because right now we are heading into the like a real showcase, okay? And what I want to emphasize because this webinar is focused on building the content ops, content systems. Specifically, we will We will talk right now on the building the blog, okay, blog production systems and so on. It is very important to have the content ops structure. What does it mean? That means don't go straight into let's automate the our blog writing process. Let's think about how our internal processes are structured. So, and if we have the internal process, what does it mean? That means internal process means, okay, for us, maybe for someone else is different. For us, we want to have our first phase is the research, okay? We need to have what are the main activities in the research and what is the output that we want to find in this research, okay? And you have you need first to outline all of the steps that you want to do and what is the activity, what is the field that are missing here is the input and the output. This is very important. Before you build any automation, just think about your process. Think what the activities are, what is the inputs that you need, and what is the outputs that you want to get. Because this will give you a much better brief of a briefing someone else to build the n8n workflow for you or build it yourself, okay? And if you go specifically for a blog writing, it's very important to work, as you can see here, we with every client, we want to work on their, to understand their process, their brand voice, their writing guidelines, how their blog articles and blog content is structured, what is their content pillars, etc., etc. What is their mandatory on-page checklists? What is their, as you can see, headline extensions, content pillars, blog topic clusters, all of this stuff. So that means when a client approach, for example, to us, they are just sending us because they are very into the this first, still very in this first bucket of the AI adopted. So their teams are AI adopted and they have a lot of documentation, a lot of things that are currently going on, okay? And they want somehow to streamline this process. And if you want to streamline the process, don't think first of how to streamline this process. Think first of how to put everything on paper and how to understand what you currently have, how you currently work, what is your current brand voice, writing guidelines, etc., because all of this will help you build a better workflow structure, but as well design a better prompts for those agents who will actually execute work itself. So this is my tip before you start beginning with anything, just structure and write and outline what you ultimately want to achieve. And what is very important as well, you need to understand on which scale you are. What does it mean? That means if you you are maybe a small, you are not on that a publishing cadence on the daily and monthly basis. That means your website has, I don't know, 20 pages, and previously you've been, I don't know, publishing 2 blog articles per month. That means don't go directly into the publishing cadence of 1 article per day. Okay, build this very intentionally of your current scale. That means probably if you previously got published, I don't know, 2 articles per month, okay, definitely you will shock the system, shock the LLM, search, etc., if they notice right now I'm writing every day 2 articles, okay? So be very cautious about where you are and how you will approach the entire process. And the second thing, once you have this structure in place and this overall brief and strategy in place, it is very important to understanding the tool stack and you have on your available for building these systems, okay? So right now I will show you the tool stack we use for agentic hosting systems. You already know, of course, we use for Claude, either Claude, ChatGPT, or Gemini for API tokens. So this one is very, very important. This is the databases and RAG. So you can go ahead and right now this is something more advanced use databases for RAG, but what I suggest you go with something simpler, like your database can be like a Supabase or some Google spreadsheet or Airtable, okay? But if you want something more advanced, this is the tool stack that we recommend. But if you are like on the smaller scale and want something just to test out, you can use like a spreadsheet, as I said, Airtable as your Notion, Airtable as your database. And of course, it is very important for how the infrastructure works. So as you can see, not all databases are structured the same. So Supabase and PostgreSQL, they structure data in some like a different way. As you can see, Firebase, AVS, and Cloudflare, they serve some different purpose. So you need to like also think about this as well, like what is your infrastructure in place and how you will approach to infrastructure in the future or in the moment. Okay, so the second thing, this is like the content research platform. Of course, you all know for the Perplexity, but there is other tools like Tavily, Surf API. We use a lot of Surf API and Fireclaw. Also, there is a Exa, Moz. We tested the Moz. It is let's say very very decent, and there is an Answer the Public, maybe the cheapest option that you can find on the market, definitely all of these three. So just think about like, this is very important. Think about like the content research. Why? Because we will cover the topic of the internal like data that you need. This is the why RAG are important, because RAG will read your internal data. That means your like I don't know, sales calls transcripts, your documentation, etc., etc. So it is not just about the prompts. It is also about the data that LLMs has the access to. That is not just the prompt data, but as I said, your knowledge base, your specification, your meeting transcripts, and so on. So, but you want to combine that like internal data with data available on the internet for the content research. So think about this way. This is what we tested out, what we suggested. Also for SEO and SERP analysis, of course, there is a Ahrefs, SEMrush, Epify is very good. We find the phrase also very well. Very well for this like content structure and adding some like a missing elements. Of course, Surfer, SEO, SparkToro, this is the tools that we currently use, test, and implement in our workflows. And of course, this is, as I said previously, the customer intelligence or your internal intelligence. That means if you give like the LLMs data from your sales transcripts from Gong, FatHome, Fireflies, if you go ahead and scrape like online review platforms like G2, Capterra, Trustpilot, and navigate them to learn from those reviews, this is very, very good source of information for them to build a better content. And of course, this is what right now I'm repeating myself, but help docs and knowledge base, like if you have some data, if you use Intercom, Zendesk, any other help docs or knowledge-based software, it is very good to connect this with an LLMs in order to give them a good context of what is going on and how is going on. So the results, like if you let's say if you respect or if you approach this in a smart way, the results that you can anticipate are like this. That means not just putting your content on the autopilot, but actually making a good combination and let's say of the prompts, your internal data and external available data. So we found this trio is very good. So when you have like a good content research resources that you find externally, you match them with your internal data and with your good prompting, okay, then you can have the good results, because the purpose of the AI is not just to automate your content, to scale your content, to give you the better outputs. It is ultimately to create a more useful and better stuff, so that people will find actually useful in their specific business use case. So pretty much this is something that you can anticipate right now. I will go and jump into the showcasing you exact workflows that we are building for each specific use case. So this is the n8n workflow we are currently running, and this is actually this one what I showed at the beginning. So what we have in this workflow, we have, as you can see here, 3 writing agents. So what we did, actually, we categorize our blog article, as agent said, like we have 3 article types. We have a listicle article, we have a comparison article, and we have the guide article. That means all of these 3 articles, these 3 agents, they have the different structure, and they are like their structure, the writing style, and everything, prompt itself, it's totally different. So if we go and enter into the prompt of every like an agent, okay, the prompt is different of how agent will actually write the article itself. So that means we do not use just one agent to build like these three different type of articles. We have one specialized agent for writing each article type. So once the article writing is finished, okay, we have a dedicated SEO agent. That means this SEO agent also, as prompt said, like this agent is actually, this is, sorry, user message, this is the system message. So this agent actually have their own guideline on how to structure the content, how to write the URL, meta descriptions, tags. As you can see here, there is a very, very in-depth guideline on like a meta title extensions to use, meta descriptions to use, H tags, etc., which keywords we want to target, and so on. So that means this is one specialized agent for SEO. And once as I said, the writing is finished, we have the SEO agent doing SEO stuff. And at the end, we have the image generation agent. We also like generate image for, like, we do not do the custom images. So we have the image generation, which produce the image. And then what is happening is actually because our website, this is something very important. So that means not every website or every technology supports like direct publishing from the n8n workflow to your website. Right now, our process, and I will trigger this workflow in front of you, our entire blog writing process is automated end-to-end. What does it mean? That means when everything like pass, I will actually just trigger a workflow right now. Is actually our content is scheduled to write at 10 p.m. our time every day. That means every time at 10 p.m. okay, our new blog is published automatically on our website. So there is no actually human in the loop once the workflow triggers. And right now, I will just execute the workflow. As you can see here, workflow configuration right now, the agent reads here the spreadsheet because all of our content is in this spreadsheet. This is what I said. We do not use any like a big database. Actually, our entire content strategy is here. Like we have the blog article title, what are the key points, whether this is done or not, this is did by agent, whether article type is listicle, guide, or comparison, and who is the officially writer, but agents are writing. But when it's published officially, Davor will appear as author. As you can see, I actually triggered the workflow, and right now you can see that Gemini actually is doing the writing, and next on the schedule is best n8n keyword research workflows. That means this is the listicle article, and right now this, as you can see, listicle writer is actually working, and Gemini is writing the according to the prompt the article. Once article is finished, it will go to the SEO agent who, as I explained, do their stuff. And what will happen at the end, article will be published on the Firebase spreadsheet. This one spreadsheet will be updated with number 1. That means the article is written. That means the next trigger. When it happens, it will go to write this 7 best personal assistant workflows. So that means once it's done, so the agent will update the spreadsheet, and we will also receive the Slack message, which means we have our Slack channel, and we have another personal assistant which is built inside the n8n, and we will get the Slack notification from help that this article is actually on the production and on the on never mind, on staging environment as well. As you can see right now, while I'm talking right now, the SEO agent do the work. And what is very important here is that you can see here OpenAI model. So we previously used the Gemini for writing and OpenAI for the SEO agent. And we work a little bit on the prompting, etc., and we figure out that it is way better if we keep Gemini for everything. That means if you are ever think like if you want to build something, okay, don't think about just the prompting. Think about the AI models that we'll use, because sometimes ChatGPT or OpenAI is way better for a certain task than the Gemini. On the other side, maybe Claude is better for something else than the OpenAI or Gemini. And what is also very important when we are talking about these LLM models or tokens or AI tokens, however, the ChatGPT, this is what we see from our practice, appears to be on the lower price point than Gemini and then Claude, which is, I would say, not significantly, but a bit expensive. Their tokens are a bit expensive, and API calls are a bit expensive compared to the ChatGPT and Gemini. And of course, the outputs of the Claude are we are pretty much satisfied with the outputs of the Claude as LLM. So right now, this agent is working their stuff. Once SEO is finishing this, we will switch back and image will be produced. What we use for the image generation right now is also Gemini. It is actually Nano Banana. Nano Banana is actually right now producing the image. And this is our blog homepage. As you can see, it is like a very still. We are aware that those images and everything is not like it is produced by an AI. It is like almost everything is produced by AI. Not almost everything, actually everything is here on the blog produced by an AI. And what will happen when this workflow finish the work? And right now, I think all steps are finished. Yeah, check mark is mark. And you can see here today, 6:43 p.m. Yes, minute ago, we have a new blog article published on the n8n lab website, and pretty much I just showcased you the like end-to-end process of blog writing. And I will stop here. I will if you have any questions about this, I will welcome you to ask at the end on the Q&A session, about everything. What I'm like, just to give some mark here, like this is what we are doing for ourselves and what we are testing on ourselves, how we can better advise our clients. And this is one thing. And the second thing is we are actually getting very good results from this like a process and for this workflow. Right now, we will get into the more complex stuff. That means n8n workflow with a multiple RAG systems. This is right now totally different use case of what I showed you before. So this n8n workflow actually serves for one B2B SaaS company for their entire blog content team. What does it mean? This workflow don't replace, this is very important, this workflow don't replace their entire content team. Instead, this workflow make possible for their content team be more streamlined and be more centralized, and also automating a big chunk of their manual work that is happening between the documents and different generative engines like a ChatGPT, Claude, etc., and reduce the back and forth. Like one writer finished something, then editor need to approve, they need to send him in the doc, then need to review in the doc, they need to place the document in the doc, they need to reprompt something into the ChatGPT, etc. So that means this workflow actually serves for their content team to actually produce the better content, collaborate easier, and just be more automated and centralized. So what you will see here, this is actually the RAG or the RAG database. What does it mean? That means that their content team right now, this is something into production. It is not entirely live yet, okay? And I will just go ahead and present you what is behind, like you're seeing things behind the scenes. That means we also this entire workflow, just a second, this entire workflow, we also broke into the several mini workflows, as you can see here. So that means this entire workflow is connected to this RAG database, okay, but it is also separated into the 4 different mini workflows, okay? This is, as I said, a bit more advanced step. So what is going on? This is exactly where the RAG shines, because as you can see here, we have their docs, okay? That means I will not click here because of some confidential information and so on, but here, this is their knowledge base and their sales transcripts, etc., so that means everything what they have internally. So what is happening, what they need to do when they want to write a specific type of content, okay, or specific blog article. Yeah, let me first explain you overall what workflow does, sorry. So what is happening? We start with a SERP. That means this first layer, okay, it serves for the SERP. That means this is the SERP analysis. That means if instead of manually using, I don't know, Ahrefs or Google SERP, etc., to extract the search results, okay, we automate this and store into the Airtable database. Then what is happening? The second workflow triggers actual crawling their internal database and RAG systems. As you can see here, we have a RAG endpoints, we have a RAG product features, then we have a scrape G2 and Capterra reviews, then we have the phrase API because they're storing their articles outlines in the phrase, then we have a clear scope API, Google Search Console API, that means we also read the data from their Google Search Console, and then we merge all of this data together, and then we store this data into our RAG system, and based on this data, we have the specialist agent to build an outline for the article, and agent that generates SEO, meta, etc., descriptions for the article, and then update the not the Notion Airtable database. So what is happening? That means if previously, if their team required like a senior content writer need to work with a junior content writer on the article outline, this process previously take from them, I don't know, 1 day, a lot of back and forths, a lot of sending Slack messages or managing tasks into the content management system whenever. Right now, everything of this is replaced with this like a RAG, or we call it RAG, but this is actually the mini app, okay? So once this process of the blog, because everything in the blog writing starts with some outline, okay, which someone needs to approve. And also, as I said, it really depends on the company size in your process. Their processes, they want first to scrape to understand current SERP results, AI results, what is happening currently on the internet, then compare this with their internal data, and then the build blog outline, okay? And the second thing that is happening is actually this is where writing is happens. That means they're writing, as you can see, section by section. So that means they have an article that write this section, agent that write this section, then agent that write this section. They have RAG for specific content. They have different AI agent that writes some different type of section. That they have an agent for internal linking, for external linking, and again, We need to store this somewhere into the some database. And at the end, we have the final, like a proofreading, a final adjustment. This is not what AI is doing. So the final proofreading and final adjustments is work with a senior content writer or their proofreader, editor, whoever. And then after this is finished, they don't need, because their website is on the WordPress, previously they need to send all of these to their WordPress guy. This WordPress guy should spend, I don't know, 1 hour, 1.5 hours to edit this article, playing with a WordPress editor to submit the article. Right now, this is also automated. So this is like a very high level of walkthrough of this process. But how this actually work in the practice is what they need to do is they need to just type some target keyword like a best, I don't know, rare, for example, like this. And what we have, as you can see here, we have a different features, let's say, or listicle comparison, how to guide, but this is not figured out yet. And we have an option also as well to update an existing article. So once this keyword is typed, okay, we choose the blog post, and right now what they are doing actually right now when this is in processing, okay, this is handled by this workflow. Okay, right now this workflow is connected to this RAG system, to this one. Okay, and this workflow currently running scraping internet, particularly scraping SERP, scraping other systems, etc., etc., in order to produce a blog, let's say, outline or the first input for the writing. So what does it mean? You can see here when I go here in the all task, you will see this is in processing right now because this doesn't happen automatically. Like this entire process needs some time to run. As you can see here, this is actually the SERP review and status SERP review. This is actually connection with our RAG database, which is the Google Firebase Firestore. So it will, I believe, take some time, but I will showcase you maybe on some other like use cases that we run before. So that means when this is in the processing, it will show up and appear here, as you can see here. So that means someone who is looking for this blog article outline don't need to exchange the emails, exchange, I don't know, the things like that. You can see here that we actually scraped SERP and other things, okay? And as you can see here, you see, of course, DR, AR, this is all the Ahrefs metrics. That means this is actually data from Ahrefs because Ahrefs, their Ahrefs account is connected with this RAG database. That means they don't need to enter the Ahrefs, then type this keyword into the Ahrefs, then export the spreadsheet from the Ahrefs, then re-upload spreadsheet somewhere else is actually happening, everything inside. And as you can see here, show article outline. This is actually the Claude prompt. That means the Claude prompt actually right now creating the structure according to their needs. So this is the intro, this is the table of context, video walkthrough, related resources, etc., etc. And then what's next? Pros, cons, etc., blah, blah, blah. Why, what is happening? There is also meta description and so on. So as you can see here, everything is stored in one, let's say, RAG system that don't forget, don't lose the context. You need to reprompt is actually learn and improves by the time. That means all of this data right now you see here, okay, is saved. And that means when similar topic to this is written, the RAG system will already know, okay, this is something we already wrote about. I will put maybe some different area, some different things in the context. And we have some PA questions like what need to be done, etc., etc. As you can see here, so that means the person who is responsible or junior writer who write the blog outline don't need to do anything with Ahrefs, etc., etc. They just need to enter this, let's say, software and said like, not software, but this is RAG database, and said like, okay, approve and generate outline. Of course, you don't need to approve. You can like put a notes for AI, make some adjustments. And of course, you can see here, you can go ahead and click analyze selected competitors. And this will give you like some like uh, tips and tricks or suggestions what to exploit, why it matters, different things. So you have some, let's say, more like a data or more inputs to look at in. But once like you approve this um, outline of the article, okay, you just go approve and generate the outline. So once someone click approve and generate the outline, okay, we will then run the second workflow. So this is the workflow. Actually, once the outline is approved, then we will scrape another rag system, another rag, and then as you can see, we go listen for the like a gong transcripts, sales transcripts with their leads, with their customers, then run competitor reviews, run our internal database and match whether like not just whether this just second not just whether this content is like in the line with this, but how we can extract some information from our product features, from our competitors, from our transcripts, in order to make this article more relevant and more valuable for our audience. And this, of course, entire workflow gets to the prompt. This is the build and outline, and it will also at the end, as you can see, every workflow is actually finishing within the RAG database, which is the Google Firestore, Firebase. Okay, this is the good showcase. Okay, once this outline, okay, right now it's approved, but outline is approved. Okay, we have in the one system, like, of course, this UI and other stuff needs to be fixed, but we have the meta tags. Okay, that means title or all the other things. And of course, at the end, we have the article itself. That means the article, let's say, not the final draft, but the draft for the content creator or content writer is actually built in accordance to their like a specific prompt, to their entire workflow that is happening. And this is, yes, generate our agent to generate meta. This is actually, once the meta is generated, this is this one. And we have the another workflow. This is actually uh, read an approval doc, and once article is approved, it is actually there. As I said, this is still like in production. Not everything is live yet. Um, not entire content production system is live. It is like just a portions of system is live, and this is how it looks like finally at the end. That means you have like a not approved version, but this is something for a writer to finally adjust and prove, and so on. And pretty much this is like, I don't want to bother you because this is very complex one, but I just wanted to express the main outcomes of this workflow. And of course, you're interested like by some navigational costs, like for the small teams use case. So what is like the cost? This is, of course, doesn't include cost of the building, but right now for our n8n lab blog article, we are publishing every day 30 articles per month. Entire cost for the API tokens, for the infrastructure, and of course for the some other tools cost us totally around $100 per month. That means, of course, they are not involved any other, like of course our salaries, content researcher, and so on. And for this more complex workflow, the software, because they utilize a lot of software like Hrefs, phrase, databases, etc., 750 per month. API token cost, this is right now, it's around 200 per month, and their infrastructure is 75 on the monthly basis. So pretty much this is in terms of the cost. As you can see, like the more complex workflow, the more complex system you build, this is of course more cost more. So pretty much that's it from me. I want to leave session for and enough time for the Q&A.
Awesome, man. That was that was really insightful, and like I've never seen the chat so engaged, asking lots of questions. So it's gonna be tough to answer everything, but I think the first thing I'm gonna say to everyone, we're gonna share the recording with you. Maybe it was tough to keep up with some of the stuff happening in some of the workflows, so you can rewatch them. You will connect with Jovan. If you have any questions for him, you can ask him. But yeah, everything was recorded and will be shared with you. Man, that was really nice to see how you automate the whole process from A to Z, like from research to production to reviewing and all of that stuff. And there's so many questions in the chat. We
Yeah.
have 7 more minutes. I'm gonna do my best to answer some of them. If not, guys, we're gonna share the LinkedIn of Jovan in the chat, so feel free to connect with him, and he's more than happy to
Yeah.
answer your
Just a
questions.
reference, guys. Just for you to let you know, I'm very active on the LinkedIn, very answering very promptly because I have myself and other person that manage my LinkedIn profile, and we have the AI assistant. That means you will get like very prompt answer on anything that you might need and not generic answers. So yeah, just
Nice. I think one of the most asked questions was about if you're gonna share maybe a few templates that people can get started with. Maybe not the complex one for big teams, but maybe do you have simpler templates that people can just upload on their n8n account to get started?
yes, actually we have for our the showcase that I did for our blog writing process end to end is actually we started with very tiny workflow, very small, like one article type, and I think this is the perfect template for people to start with. Definitely, I can share this with. I don't know so just how to share.
You can share it with us and we can share it on the platform with the recording so
Yeah,
everyone
great,
has
great.
access to
Yeah.
it.
That's great
Awesome.
because this is how we actually started. This entire workflow with three writing agents is not the starting point for us. It was very tiny and beginner levels.
Nice. So
So
you guys, you can have a skeleton and now you can
yeah,
start improving it and based on how your workflow is. So that's great. Another question, few questions around that specific workflow is about the quality of the output that you're getting from these blogs. You mentioned that you're getting good traction. Like, are you getting lots of organic traffic? And also another question, how long did it take you to produce like 60 articles, for example? That's
yeah.
also another question being
Yeah,
asked.
great. Yeah, let me just give one very important not like mark here. Okay, what we are doing right now for the n8n lab, like this workflow for smaller teams for the n8n lab use case, we are guys testing this on ourselves because we have the hypothesis as an AI agency that if the content is written by an AI or LLMs, it will be better recognized by the LLMs. So we really try to follow the LLM practice. What does it mean? We try to understand what is the useful for the LLMs, like not maybe for the final reader. Okay, maybe if you jump on our blog, maybe you will consume the useful stuff. Okay, still, but our hypothesis is that the more you like build for a reader to scan faster, to get some like aha moments, and for the LLM to access your content better, you will be more citated by the LLMs itself. So that means we are getting a lot of traffic from the Perplexity, Gemini, Claude, ChatGPT, like so. But your initial question, Tarek, was what is the
Yeah, yeah, the quality of the output that you got, like
yeah
that, did it get good
yeah
traction organically?
Yeah, yeah, yes, yes, we are getting, as I said, but I think it's very important as well to enter a lot of human in the loops if you want to make sure, okay, your article is on the point. And the second workflow that I showed up, it is actually a lot of human in the loops there. That means they are not passing like to the every workflow before the editor, SEO lead, etc., approve what is next. So that
Yeah.
means the more human in the loops you enter, I think the better final results you will get.
Nice. And another question regarding also the output, because you said there's so many like humans in the loop, is like
Mhm.
also to make it more human and more on brand as well, like not very generic. So someone was asking,
Yeah.
uh, I think you answered already. Ignore that. Sorry.
Yeah, yeah. I will answer just again quickly. Okay, in order, guys, you have a lot of like your say internal data, or maybe you're not, or you have your own way to do it. Just like the AI will, because AI is very good into the processing the data. So if you build any specification, any specific tone of voice, writing guidelines, AI is very good in comprehending that and living and putting that into the action. So don't download other guys' prompts. Don't download. Don't build this with AI. Try to build these fundamentals the more with yourself because this is unreplaceable. So this is invaluable stuff.
Nice.
And if
I
the
saw like
AI says that,
yeah, I saw a nice statement in the chat. I want to get your thoughts on it by Hubert. So the idea is to use bots to write for bots so bots can cite it to us. What do you think about this? Yeah.
This is actually what we try to achieve with n8n Lab, with our blog. We try like to build with n8n, with LLMs, how LLMs can read LLM produce content, because I think the LLMs, or when I say LLMs, Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, uh, they are AIs, and they will recognize better AI language than human language. But with the human inputs and with the human guideline, I think this is the perfect mix. And this is why I'm emphasizing like do external research, collect your internal data, and be good at prompting. This is like the perfect trio for
Yeah.
producing the good content.
Nice. Maybe few more, like two more questions, and then we can wrap it up. What is the best free API tool for research?
Oh, very, very, very difficult questions. I don't know. I can the API tool,
Not
not
sure
so.
like if it's a free one for research. Like eventually at some point you have to pay if you're gonna use it regularly for your blog.
Yeah, the thing is that I think still for like you can go with a Epify, or I think the Epify, you can explore this. I think they have some free credits. So Epify, let's say. But I will always rather pay $20 or invest some small amount to like I will get the better results. Either
Yeah.
if you pay $20, I think that either makes not a huge difference to your budget, but huge difference in your outputs.
Yeah. And last question regarding also scraping. I think someone wants to do some competitive research, so they want to scrape Reddit, subreddits,
Mhm.
GT reviews. So he's curious how much does this cost if he's gonna scrape this on a daily basis.
Oh, this is all right now very, very difficult. That really
Yeah,
depends on the category you research, how the large the specific product category is, if
yeah,
it is the Reddit subreddits and things like that. It is very general, very specific. I really can't.
yeah. It depends if it's a big discussion, small discussion. Yeah, for sure.
Very, and yeah, how you want actually to scrape this data. What I can tell you is that for the Reddit, I have some tool recommendations if you want to specifically monitor the Reddit subreddits and threads. And for G2 and Captera, they are very hard to scrape. I don't want to, because they have a lot of anti-scraping technology implemented there. It is, for us, it's very, very difficult. We are scraping this, but it requires a lot of development work. So just
Yeah.
the difference between G2 and Captera, G2 and Reddit X, etc., etc. Reddit X, they're much easier to scrape.
Yeah, and if you want like a scraper for Reddit, I think also if you go to Apify and you search for
Yeah.
Reddit, you will find the scraper there that you can use.
I
And
think the
there's,
Epify is like for everyone who wants to explore in very early stages of scraping something, the Epify is
I'm
address.
gonna share the link of Apify in the chat, guys.
Yeah.
So feel free. They have, yeah, you can scrape anything with.
This is the good starting point for everyone, like
Yeah.
either on the beginner level or more advanced level. I see the Erwin is raising the hand, so I don't know. Sorry, Tarek, for
No, no, no worries, man. I think there's lots of more questions. I don't think, unfortunately, we have the time to answer them all. But guys, the link for Jovan's LinkedIn has been shared in the chat. Maybe Phil, we can share it one more time in case people missed it. Feel free to connect with him, and he's more than happy to answer any questions that you might have. Also, Jovan just shared it. Awesome. Yeah, man. Thanks a lot for this useful session.
you, and thank you, Tarek, for inviting me to share this with your audience.
Awesome, man. Thanks so much, and thanks for everyone. See you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye.